G'day guys, in this video I'm going to give you the no bullshit playbook on how to prepare your business for AI in 2026. Why can I give a no bullshit playbook? Well, my name is Max Sweeney and I own Sweeney Studio. We build AI systems and workflows within real everyday businesses like plumbers, manufacturers, logistic companies, professional services and everyone in between. And what I'm sharing with you today is not theory, it's what we actually do with clients every single day. And by the end of this video, you're going to receive step-by-step actionables that are simple and straightforward to implement into your very own business. So do not skip, you will miss valuable information. This is value jam-packed and I'll try to condense it as much as humanly possible. So this is a client timeline on our initial sort of development with all of our clients. What we're focusing on is this like 2 weeks. This generally takes 2 weeks for us to do. If you're doing it in your own business, it will probably take a lot less than that. And just to show that what I know what I'm talking about is because we have literally hundreds of SOPs on how to do all this stuff. So why do you need to prep right now? So by the time 2026 rolls around, I'm recording this end of 2025, it'll probably be too late and your first adopters will be literally years ahead. So businesses automating in late 2025 or right now, generally have 12 plus months of operational data training their AI systems. Like they've been testing and playing around with this stuff for quite a while now. And they've already got 10 to 20 workflows already running and refined. And then they've got a team fully trained on AI. And so if you're starting late 2026, you'll be like 18 to 24 months behind roughly. And in a market that is moving as fast as AI, that's, GG, that's game over. So why is AI useful? I just want to articulate this all. Because we can leverage your A team instead of hiring more. Your A team is so important. Right now, your best team or your best people in your team are buried in just useless mundane work, like admin, for example. So just as some examples, the reality, Sarah, you might have a top salesperson. She might spend 10 hours a week on data entry and filling out client information or sales information or doing sales research. Tom, maybe he's your ops manager, spending 15 hours a week on manual reporting, or you've got customer service, copies and pastes the same responses 100 times a day. Those are just some examples. With AI automation, Sarah focuses 100% on closing the deal. So not putting shit inside of CRM or doing useless research work. Tom focuses on strategy, not filling out data in a spreadsheet, and your customer service can actually just handle the complex tasks as opposed to just repeating the same jargon 100 times a day. So we automate that mundane work. The work that drains your team isn't strategic. It's low level, low ROI work. So data entry across all your different systems that you use, like softwares, lead qualification and routing, invoice processing and payment follow-ups, report generation and distribution, customer onboarding workflows. Those are just to name a few. This work does not require humans. AI can do it very, very easily and is sort of designed to do it. It needs systems and those systems take time to build. If you start in 2026, you're still dealing with this manual work while competitors are not doing this anymore. They've moved on. Their 18 players are leveraged to the max. So what I'm gonna go through is the 4-step prep plan. So step 1 is get an audit done. You can either do it yourself, get us to do it, or get someone else to do it. You can't automate what you don't understand, right? Clearly. What you need to map out your business processes, even just a few rough flow diagrams sort of works. And you need to identify high volume, repetitive workflows, and you need to calculate the time costs spent on each process annually. You don't need perfection. Even just basic diagrams are enough to sort of identify automation opportunities. So you sort of want to look for processes. The rule of thumb is at least, they happen at least 20 times per week, or they're very, very lengthy to do when you do them. Processes with consistent steps. So you're following a procedure. It doesn't require super complex logic that only humans can do. So it, repeats the same steps at least 80% of the time. And then your current processes are eating at least 5 hours per week of the team's time. What you want to do is just put this into a little spreadsheet or Excel sheet. Very easy. Name the process, hours a week. Annual cost is basically hours a week times whatever this person getting paid per hour, what the person's getting paid per hour that's actually doing it. So if it's an ops manager, they get paid $75 an hour. If it's a low level, not low level, but a customer support rep, they probably get paid $30 an hour or $20 an hour. So it's a lot less, right? And then based on that, you can see if it's high or low or whatever it is. We do this really like due diligently, and you can actually almost get this done just for free working with us as well. Like we go through that during our like sales procedure because we need to get it done so we can actually like offer this stuff to you, right? Timeline 2 to 4 weeks. You can do this in literally a day. This is like absolute max. We give ourselves 2 weeks to do this properly because we go through all the technicals like software's complexity, that sort of stuff. We do it really due diligently. Organize your business data. So AI runs on data. If your data is scattered, your AI will be virtually useless and very painful to set up. So you want to make sure your customer data is all in one CRM, or is it scattered across email spreadsheets and 3 different systems. This is very common for service-based industries, so plumbers, builders, etc. Put it all in one place. Put it all inside a CRM. That's the easiest thing to do. Can you pull a list of all your customers who bought, X service, X product in the last 6 months? If the answer is no, then you need to fix this. Transaction data. Sales invoices, payments in one accounting system, like Xero, for example. Can you programmatically access this data? Again, just check if your software has an API. Or are you exporting CSV manually? If this is yes, then there's an issue. You need to put it all in one place. Comms data, emails, calls, and chats logged. Are they linked to customer records? Can you search past conversations? Again, this should all be going to your CRM. Is pricing structured and documented? Now, this is just like an SOP basically. I suppose I articulated this really poorly. Basically, are your SOPs documented? Like, can we figure out the logic about your business or like information about your business? If no, it's all good. Just document it so everyone knows. If the answer is no to any of these, fix it. It doesn't take too long. It doesn't take 4 to 8 weeks. That's like absolute max. Eliminate knowledge silos. So knowledge silos kill automation projects. So what are knowledge silos? Only Sarah knows how to process refunds. Only Tom knows the customer onboarding checklist. Only Michael knows which leads to prioritize. This sucks for AI because we need the AI to know that, not just the human. So what you need to do is document how things actually get done. You can use simple softwares like scribe.com. It costs about $20. They literally take 0 time to set up because you click one button and then do the work anyways, and it records your screen, takes screenshots, and labels everything you're doing. And what we want to do is get that tribal knowledge out of people's heads and into systems. And then we can create simple SOPs or checklists for repetitive work. You don't need a 50-page manual. You literally just need a doc that says, when a refund request comes in, check if it's within 30 days. If yes, approve automatically. If no, escalate to manager. Log in CRM, send confirmation email. That's all you have to do. Very simple. We don't want to overcomplicate this process. So just make sure you're getting repetitive processes documented. Step number 4, prepare 20 to 50 grand in cash for development. AI automation is not free. Developers are actually quite expensive. Real costs, so what we actually charge is 6 to 10 grand AUD per AI workflow, which is around 4 to 5 to 8 grand USD roughly per workflow. Most businesses need 3 to 5 workflows to start seeing major impact. Generally you need around 2, and that will save you around $250,000, but generally speaking, you only get 3 to 5. Total initial development will cost anywhere from 20 to 50 grand. If you were to get this done from anywhere, whether it's Fiverr, whether it's your own technical pump, it will most likely cost this much too. If it costs less than this, there's probably an issue that the person doing it has no idea what they're doing, because it's really difficult. What does one workflow actually cost? So, for example, lead qualification automation, discovery and process building, 2 to 3 grand, building testing, 3 to 5 grand, deployment training, 1 to 2 grand. Total 6 to 10. That 6 to 10 is very consistent across most workflows. If it is significantly more complex, we'll either opt out not to do it because it's too complex and too difficult, and I can't guarantee that it can be done, or it will fit in this budget. So, annual savings from this one workflow. If you only save 8 hours a week and it's for a manager, which is very common, at around $100 an hour, across 48 weeks in a year, that is $38,000, $400 a year in savings. Now, you will save a lot more than 8 hours a week, particularly if you're a bigger company with more employees. If you're simply, saving that all your sales reps are no longer have to do research, as you imagine, that is a lot of time you're saving. And your sales reps are worth a lot because the time that they're not closing is very expensive because you only make money on their closes, not the ability to do research. Okay, so what are the ongoing costs of the AI that you should expect? Hosting and tools, $52 to $200 a month. So basically, if you're setting this up yourself, that's what it'll cost. If you're using us, it won't cost anything because we're going to be using the software that you already use, and if you don't already use it, we'll be paying for it if it's like AI related software. Maintenance and refinements, generally speaking, costs around $500 to $1,500 a month, roughly. You can sometimes do this yourself. If you're setting all this up yourself, you might be able to get it for a little bit less, but like most decent companies will be charging around this because AI just doesn't magically run by itself. You need to constantly optimize it, always implement the latest AI changes, and constantly improve it as well. However, that is significantly cheaper than the cost to hire. So hiring a junior ops person is around $75,000 a year USD, not even AUD, USD. Hiring a senior DevOps or a senior engineer is very fucking expensive. It's like $150,000 to $200,000 a year USD. So we have all of those people in-house here that will work fractionally for you, hence why you save a lot of money. And your guys, if you hire that, can only work 40 hours a week. We have a whole team. If you need more, we can give you more. AI workers, they work 24/7, never sick, never quit, and they scale literally infinitely. So, it is beneficial prepping that cash on the side, so when you do pull the trigger, you're sweet financially too. Because the cost isn't too bad, it's just the cash flow, because you'll have to spend that 20 to 50 grand up front in most cases. So timeline, this is what I'd recommend. You can read through it. You can add an extra zero to this, you can do it all this in 1 week. Really doesn't matter, sooner is always better. Bottom line, businesses that prep now will have a huge advantage. They're going to leverage their best people a lot more instead of try to hire more better ones or hiring mid-level employees. And you'll automate your mundane work so they can actually do the high leverage activity, not just like silly admin work. And on top of that, the human will be happier because they are doing less of the stuff they don't like. And the businesses that wait, so they sort of sit around and go, oh yeah, what's AI really going to do? It's a bubble, all that bullshit. They're going to be playing catch up. I will literally guarantee it. They will need to adopt this at some point because every other business will get so far ahead. And they'll be forced to hire the way to growth, which is expensive, slow, and far riskier than AI. And they're still going to be buried in manual work while they compare to scale. Could you imagine you having to do research and reports of all your sales manually while your competitor, who's the same size, literally doesn't have to touch a report ever? They just send the thing and go through it. They never have to write it. As you imagine, one sales rep is going to be far happier and far more leverage and making far more money than the other one. Guess who? Your 4-step prep plan. Get an audit done. You can use us, literally book the call. There's a link in the description. Just book that call, and most of it, I'm pretty sure, is free at this point. I don't run a head of sales. I think it's free. It might cost a couple $100 to a couple $1,000. I generally don't know. Organize your business data. Again, if you work with us, this comes included in our service. Eliminate knowledge silos. Again, if you work with us, this gets included. And then prep 20 to 50K in cash for cash flow purposes. Again, most businesses already have this. This is just for the guys really struggling to scale right now. This isn't a 2026 problem. You should be doing this literally right now. The businesses that win in 2026 are the ones that take action literally right now, because when 2026 rolls by, everything's going to be implemented. So what to do? What are your clear steps? Block 2 hours in your calendar this week. Write down your 5 most time-consuming repetitive processes, either from you, from your managers, or from employees. You can do that simple spreadsheet thing, which I outlined earlier. And then you calculate what those processes cost you annually. Pick your top 3 and get them documented or audited. And then just make sure you got that budget. Or if you're doing it yourself, you'll probably have to add a 0 to this because it is so much more expensive. And then that's it. You can literally adopt AI workflows. You can take it on. The difference between businesses that dominate in 2026 and businesses that struggle isn't really their technology, it's more the preparation. It's that, everything we've talked about today, that's your roadmap. The costs are known, the ROI is proven, and the only question is, are you going to prepare now or wish you had done it, in 12 months? So if you are ready to get started, book the call in the description, or just follow these steps and do it yourself. Both work very, very well. Anyways, guys, if you have any questions about this, just comment them below, and I'll also put this document in the description so you can read it whenever you want. Bye.